for another SolidNotes series by Design Point. So this time we're going to look at Chapter 9, MySolidWorks, basically the hidden gem of SolidWorks. I want to first start by asking you a couple questions here. So the first question is, how many of you have ever tried to search for help or information about SolidWorks online? This is more of a rhetorical question, so I don't need an answer from you right now. But my guess is that most, if not all of you, have tried to search for some kind of information about SolidWorks online. The next question gets a little bit more tricky. So where did you go to find this information? You know, I know that if I asked or polled the group here, we would probably get a couple scattered answers in that case. And then finally, and maybe the most challenging question, did you actually find what you were looking for? So that's the whole goal of this presentation, is to help you find out more information about SolidWorks and find the information that you're actually looking for online. So the reason MySolidWorks came about is because SolidWorks posts tons of information on the web. And these can be in the form of blog articles, we have forums, the online help, community content such as YouTube videos, we have CAD models, knowledge base articles, and SPRs. So for those of you who are used to actually looking for this content online, you've probably gone to a handful of those. My guess is you would have probably seen about 3 or 4 of those different areas before, but maybe not all of them. And we all know that it can be a little bit painstaking if you're trying to find a particular piece of information, having to browse back and forth through all those areas. So what we're going to take a look at today is the My.SolidWorks tool. My.SolidWorks had a main goal in mind. So SolidWorks knows that it has all this content online. So it wanted to create a direct connection with our users. We want to be able to get to know our users a little bit better using some collaboration. And then we also finally want to deliver high-value online content and services, group those all together into one easy-to-use searchable location. So all in all, this is going to help increase the value of our subscription service that most of you are currently on. Just taking a look at some of these pillars here of MySolidWorks and what it actually gives you is the SolidWorks community content. So again, with all those different areas that we can search, from forums, blogs, the YouTube channel, well, we group it all together now into one SolidWorks community content page. So it makes finding the information that you're looking for very, very simple. We also have online training. So this is something we have numerous requests for. People are always asking for any additional tips, tricks, tutorials, or training sessions. And what SolidWorks Corporate did was actually create the online training category here, where they added hundreds of hours of content. So some of this content is picks and pulls from SolidWorks Essentials, some of our advanced part modeling, assembly modeling classes, any of that typical training material that you may or may not have been through. The main point that we want to show here, though, which I will talk about a little bit more in detail later and kind of show you an example of this, is the first bullet item there says this is complementary to instructor-led training classes. So in no way, shape, or form should this online training be thought of as a replacement to instructor-led training for your reseller. Again, for a new user that's trying to pick up SolidWorks, they're going to have a much better experience if they go through some kind of instructor-led training classes. This online training is more for supplemental information after the fact, or even if you just maybe missed 1 or 2 things, you can go back through and watch some of these videos, which I'll show you some examples of. There's also a new manufacturing partner network. So the goal here was to make a community-wide network of manufacturing partners. So all those people who use SolidWorks can actually search this network to try to find a manufacturer who also uses SolidWorks to make getting quotes a lot faster and just general collaboration with your manufacturing partners. You can also integrate this with the MySolidWorks Drive, which I'll talk about here in 1 second, to upload large assemblies, large files, so that everybody can look at and collaborate with the same files. So SolidWorks Drive. That's the next area of MySolidWorks that we're going to look at here. And basically, it's a way to connect your file storage accounts all into your MySolidWorks account. You can see through the image down below, there is Dropbox and Google Drive. So if you currently use any of those cloud services, you link those directly into your MySolidWorks account, and that way you can access all that data from one interface. Also, starting SolidWorks 2015, and this is very important for anyone looking to upgrade to SolidWorks 2015 that uses any of our Express products today. So anything like Simulation Express, if you use the Flow Express, Design for Manufacturer Express, DriveWorks Express, or Sustainability Express, you actually will not be able to use those tools now until you go to my.solidworks.com/express, enter your serial number, and you'll get a Simulation Express or whatever Express product you're trying to work for. You'll get a product code. And this is just so that SOLIDWORKS actually knows how many people are using those tools to make sure that they still are important to the user base, to the user community, so that they keep them around in future releases. This is something, again, that's very important for you to do if you do use the Express tools. Make sure you go on there when you install SOLIDWORks 2015 and activate those products. This will help tell SOLIDWORKS that they are a valuable addition to the product and to keep them around for the near future. And then finally, you can also get a direct link with your reseller. So you can add reseller content, or we add reseller content through the web page to help stay up to date with webinars, seminars, and events, and also any other news that we can share with you. So what I want to do before I jump into actually looking at MySolidWorks.com is kind of the 3 different levels of MySolidWorks.com. So the first level that I want to look at is actually this level right here, just the regular MySolidWorks. This is a completely free account, so anyone who is not a current SOLIDWORKS customer or a SOLIDWORKS subscription service customer has access to MySolidWorks. What that's going to give you is the ability to search for the forums, the blogs, the videos, any of the free content that you can access now without a SOLIDWORKS account. You can share and bookmark articles and also look through some of the Express product tutorials right down here, and then a little bit of online training. Now, most of the people attending this webinar, I believe, fall into this category right here. This is the MySolidWorks Standard category. So this is included right now for every one of you that currently is on active subscription service. There's no additional cost. There's no additional steps. All you need is a MySolidWorks account or a SOLIDWORks customer account. They actually both use the same login information. So if you already have a customer portal account, you're ready and set up to go. So what we're going to get some added benefits here to the MySolidWorks Standard is we can explore and search advanced forums in the knowledge base. So that's one of the unique areas of the customer portal. We can view news, events, and technical content. You open up the SOLIDWORks Drive and the manufacturing network, as well as your Express product validation. But we also unlock around 20 more additional hours of online training. So you get roughly 30 hours of online training with the current account. And then if you want to graduate up to the MySolidWorks Professional account, this actually is an annual subscription per user. So this is a paid account. You can see there's over 100+ hours of online training for this account. And they also offer some additional CSWA, CSWP, and CSWE online prep courses. So these are really, really great programs to help you with learning a few new topics and also get some online prep. Again, the MySolidWorks Standard account, if you're currently on subscription, you already have this. All you need to do is log in. If you're interested in the additional online training or those certification prep courses, you can give us a call, or whoever your reseller is, give them a call and talk to them about pricing for that. I know that I purposely didn't ask the pricing information about this ahead of time. I can feel some of you looking at that chat box right now, getting ready to ask questions about pricing. So that's something you want to talk with your account manager about to get the annual subscription service pricing on the MySolidWorks Professional account. So now that we've been through all that, we're just going to look at the MySolidWorks Standard. Again, these are kind of the highlights for everyone that you currently have if you're on active subscription. Basically, you're getting 30 free hours of SOLIDWORks training. You can explore and search the advanced forums, see all the new content. Basically, this all amounts to about $120 value included with your active subscription. So what I want to do in this case is I just want to go and take a quick look at MySolidWorks and show you a little bit about how to use this. So all I'm going to do is just launch my internet browser here and browse right to my.solidworks.com. So it's as simple as that. You can see the interface that comes up. Just hit the web page. What you want to look for is in the top right-hand corner, there's a login option. So again, for those of you that already have a customer portal account, you can just simply click login, and it's going to prompt you for your username and password. So you can go ahead and enter that information, and you'll be all ready and set to go. For those that don't have a customer portal account yet, but do have active subscription service, simply click down here to create a SOLIDWORks ID. It'll walk you through a few steps to creating that. And again, if you get hung up in that process, That's what we're here for. That's what your reseller is here for. Just give them a call or give us a call, and we'll walk you through and help you with that process. So I'm just going to click Login here, and you can see it has my user account profile up in the top corner, so I know I'm logged in. And now I'm ready to start using MySolidWorks. The first thing we notice with MySolidWorks is right on the front page here, we're presented with a nice search field. We can actually filter the search field. Right now it's actually looking everywhere, but all those different areas that I mentioned, such as blogs, CAD models, forums, solutions, even the learning opportunities are all here. So if we just do a very quick general search, let's say for sweeps, I want to get some more information about sweeps. Just click search or press enter, and it's going to present you with this entire list of all the different sweep options that we have. You can see they're grouped by type over here. We have the common filters like you might see on other search engines. Very similar, kind of basic, easy to use. I'm not going to go through a lot of the ins and outs, but whenever you simply click one of these areas, it'll filter out, and now I'm only showing the knowledge-based solutions related to sweeps. If you're interested in seeing another area, you can uncheck these and then grab one of the other ones. And so we want to go into lessons here. We can also search by different views. There's more of a thumbnail type preview up here in the top corner. So when you're looking for lessons and any of the training content, it's a little bit easier to view it right here with the thumbnail preview. And then you can simply browse down through all the different lessons that were returned regarding sweeps. So if you like any of these lessons, and in particular, and you want to use those again, all of your pages down here are going to have the little Bookmarks tab, which is really nice for you to be able to find that data and that information very quickly later on if you close out of the browser and come back to it. So something right here like animating a spring. This looks pretty interesting, so I'm just going to bookmark that. There's another training lesson here for winding a cable off of a reel. That's something I've not done before, so I'm going to go ahead and bookmark that. Once you go ahead and bookmark a few items, you'll just use the pull-down menu in the top right-hand corner. It will give you the number of bookmarked items you have in parentheses. And if you select the My Bookmarks, it'll present you with the page here where you can browse through all your recently bookmarked items. And again, just unchecking those will clear those out from your bookmarks. So we refresh the page and they should go away. Again, it's a very simple to use tool. If you've used any kind of search engines recently, it's going to work pretty similar to that. Now, looking across the top, we can actually browse certain areas in particular. The Buzz section is more of the community content, so this is going to be your blogs, your forums, and information like that. So we can go through and see the latest news that's been posted and updated there. And then you simply click on any of these headings, and you can go ahead and read those articles. So CAD models is another very interesting portion. If anybody's used 3D Content Central before, MySolidWorks actually links right to 3D Content Central. So it's very nice because it actually presents you with all thumbnail previews here of the images. And if you select one of these items, like this pneumatic actuator, it's going to bring open an eDrawings preview right within your MySolidWorks window, right here. So you can see it's loading up the integrated eDrawings, which then I can view, rotate, zoom, and pan the model, however you see fit. So you can get a really good look at this model before you ever decide to download it. Also, the question mark in the top corner, it's going to give you some of the commands for actually using this eDrawing preview. So this middle column here shows all the mouse functions, and these are actually all the touchpad functions. So if you're looking at this website through an iPhone or an iPad or any other mobile device, you can go ahead and use the touch functions as well. So again, this eDrawing preview allows you to look at any of the standard views similar to the full-blown eDrawings, and you can look at it in all the different graphically shaded modes. Finally, if you find out that you really enjoy this model, you want to go ahead and download that, you can configure and download, and this actually links right to the 3D Content Central page, where if you have an account, you can configure that and download the model to SolidWorks. Now, the next area here that I'm going to look at are the training. So this is really where I think most of the interest is going to be at this point. And you can see by accessing the training tab, we're going to be able to scroll down and browse through all the different lessons available to us. Now, searching through this can be, or browsing through this and trying to find what you're looking for can be a little painstaking, which is why the search function is there. Also, we can filter out some options over here as well. So you can filter by some categories like SolidWorks assemblies, tips and tricks, drawings and details, certification, modeling. So if you really kind of know what you're looking for, you can select any of these items here, and it's going to go ahead and filter out your results. So when we start looking at one of these videos or one of these training sessions, you'll notice that I have the Add button right here, and that's because I do have a MySolidWorks Professional account. You will see a button. If you only have a MySolidWorks Standard account, you're going to see some kind of button that says Upgrade Required. So if you see that button, that means that you do need a MySolidWorks Professional account to view that particular lesson. But what's really great here, and let me clear out some of these filters. You can see I already started this lesson earlier today. So if I select one of these lessons, you can actually use the play button here to go and get an online video actually walking through these topics. So I'm also going to turn on my volume just a little bit here on the computer so that we can hear some of this. But we choose Begin Lesson, and it's going to walk you through some online training. So if I pause this very briefly, what you'll notice is there's actually some very nice toolbars over on the side here to skip through different areas. So as he mentioned, there is actually a download button right here that you can select and actually download these models that they're working on so that you can actually follow along right with the lesson. Finally, when we get to the end of this, you can see the exercises portion, which actually allows you to practice what you've actually just learned. So this was on the offset entities command, and the interface is really nice because it actually allows you to use this just like you would a SolidWorks window. You can see all the buttons that you need to click highlight, so they give you the step-by-step directions. And if you click somewhere wrong, it will definitely let you know. So just walking through the lesson here, you can see it's telling you exactly what to do to select these items and use that tool. So this online training is very, very functional. It makes it really easy to use, very easy to learn some of this information. So once you're done going through the lessons, we can exit on and go to the next lesson, or we can simply exit the exercise. And there is also a review exam at the end. Now, these review exams are graded. They're not, they're not graded by anyone in particular, but it's a good kind of self-check for yourself. That if you go through some of these exams at the end, make sure you pass it and that you fully understand that topic. But again, the online training here is very, very good. It's in a very nice format, pretty easy to go through. Now, as I mentioned earlier, this training is really more for, it's really more in addition to your instructor-led classroom training, because you can see that in general, just have some videos here that you watch if you're looking for any one particular topic individually. There are some learning paths over here at the side that we can actually add. So if I'm looking for the Sketch Tools learning path, I can add that to my learning paths. And then right up here, we can browse either the lessons that we've started or the learning paths that we've been into. And what the learning paths do is give you a grouping of exercises for you to go ahead and work through. You can see the Sketch Tools learning path has 3 lessons. I have not completed any of those, so we can enter into the Sketch Tools lesson, and it gives you those 3 Sketch Tool lessons that you have here. Again, the learning paths are still pretty nice because they're kind of a guided step-by-step through each of those topics. But again, with the classroom training, you're going to get another instructor's insight into how to use some more of the tools. You get more interaction with them. And also, we presented everything in kind of one fashion. So we'll show you all the sketch items at one time and then slowly introduce some of the other topics. So this is very, very good supplemental information to your classroom training. If we go ahead and look through some of the other areas here, I'm just going to breeze through some more of these. So we have the forums. If anybody has searched the forums before, you can go ahead and do the same thing here with your MySolidWorks account. Scroll down through and read any of the content that's been posted. Here's where we have the MySolidWorks Drive account, or you can simply link this up to a Dropbox or a Google Drive account. There's a support tab. So for those of you who actually use the customer portal or the download section, you can come right here to support and very quickly link yourself to the system requirements page. We have links right to the SolidWorks downloads from here. any kind of online documentation. And if you use the product support option, it can actually browse right to, the My Support section. That'll actually browse you right to your customer portal account. So some really nice integration with all the different areas. As I mentioned before, we have the manufacturers network. This is going to be an area where everybody can come and find manufacturers. Or if you are a manufacturer, you can actually get yourself listed on this website so that other SOLIDWORKS users in your area can actually find you. And then finally, if you look at the My VAR page, what you're going to be able to see is your VAR information over here on the left-hand side with the phone number and when your SOLIDWORKS subscription expiration date is. You also get presented with some of the recent news feeds here on the front panel. You can click through these and see what's new with your VAR. And also you can get access to the webinars and seminars schedule. So we can see right here today's SolidWorks SolidNotes webinar series. We have a webinar tomorrow about structural design analysis with SolidWorks simulation. And if you choose Show All, we can actually see that there's a hands-on test drive for SolidWorks as well. Select any of these items, and it'll bring you right to that information page so you can register for those events. So really, really great stuff being able to connect up with your reseller and get the latest news and information for some of their seminars and webinars. So again, to wrap up here, MySolidWorks was added to be the best place to get the best answers to your questions about SolidWorks in one location. Again, we don't want you to browse around all through the internet trying to look and find that information. It's going to help you stay current, sharpen your design skills, and share your expertise, all from the convenience of your mobile device or desktop. Again, one place to go to find all this information. You don't have to search all over the internet to try to find your information. So back to those questions. How many of you have ever tried to search for help or information about SolidWorks online? I hope using MySolidWorks.com is going to help that become a lot easier for you. So where did you go to find the information? Again, now it's going to be my.solidworks.com. And if you're asking yourself, did you find what you were looking for? The answer now is going to be yes, I did, and I still have all my hair. So that about wraps up this presentation. Again, we appreciate everyone for attending. There is a questions box over on the right-hand side of the My Webinar panel. If you have any questions for us, feel free to ask those right now, and we'll go ahead and get some of those questions answered for you. If not, again, my name was Matt Devine. You see my contact information right there. If you would have any questions about this webinar in particular, you can feel free to email me at my email address on the page there. And like always, if you have support questions, please email the support line or use our phone number there with extension 3 for support. Okay, so it looks like we have one question that came in so far. It says, is a customer portal account per user or per customer? So that's a good question, and actually the customer portal accounts are per user. So all you need is one SolidWorks serial number, and anybody in the company or anybody in the organization with that serial number can go ahead onto the customer portal website or my.solidworks.com and create a user account. So even if you only have one license to SolidWorks, you can have as many people as you want create an account with that same serial number. It all ties to your company then, so everybody can access the same VAR information for that company. Okay, so it looks like that's about it for questions. I don't really see any other questions coming in over there. So what I'll do is take this minute again to thank everyone again for attending. I hope you found the presentation beneficial. And again, if you have any questions about MySolidWorks, please don't hesitate to reach out to me or your reseller for any information. So thanks again for attending.